Liberal Democrat spokesperson Jess Brown-Fuller.
Thank you, Madam Deputy Speaker. This government inherited a justice system in shambles after years of Conservative complacency and mismanagement. Overcrowding, administrative failures and cuts to vital services means the Justice Department too often appears to be moving from one crisis to the next as they try and fix an entire justice system that has been broken for a long time. Now, we in the Liberal Democrats did welcome the long-term provisions that the government has made to reduce pressure on the system, such as the presumption against short sentences and investment in capacity, and it is clear from today's report that those provisions in the sentencing bill are going to have a meaningful impact on demand for prison places in coming years. But I do have some questions for the Minister today. The proportion of female prisoners serving less than 12 months is 4 times that of the male population. Given the presumption against custody introduced by the sentencing bill, can the Minister outline what, if any, work is being undertaken to consider the future capacity in the prison female population estate that may be freed up due to the measures taken in the sentencing bill? The report also outlines government ambition to secure new land for future provision of prison builds. Can the Minister outline a timeline for this and for when currently under construction prison places will come online? Alongside this, the Minister has laid out plans to increase the number of probation officers to 6,500 by 2027. Retention of officers has been a long-standing issue within the probation system, and this has been compounded in recent years by the uptick of less experienced staff. Will the Minister set out what measures the Department will take to improve retention and whether this government will meet the HMPPS staffing level of 7,114 officers by the end of this Parliament? Now, the Minister has rightly said that reducing reoffending is key to easing long-term pressure on the system. Education is central to that ambition, providing prisoners with the skills they need to rejoin society after their sentences end and avoid making the same mistakes again. Yet, prison education is being cut, not strengthened, as the chair of the Justice Select Committee said. In fact, last month, the Independent Monitoring Board wrote to the Prisons Minister outlining the impact that real-term cuts beyond inflation rates were having on education. So will the Minister please explain how the government expects to deliver a rehabilitative programme system and reduce reoffending while prison boards are being forced to make dramatic cuts to education budgets?
Minister.
Thank you. I welcome the honourable member's question. Dealing with the issue of women prisoners, as I set out in the statement, short-term sentences disproportionately affects female prisoners. My recollection of the statistic is actually that the average sentence that a female prisoner faces is around 7 weeks when they're sentenced to a sentence of less than 12 months, which is often completely absurd and can affect the prisoner, the family detrimentally and not lead to rehabilitation. So short-term sentences is a massive part of what we're trying to do around that cohort, but there's also the Women's Justice Board that Lord Timpson is leading on, which is looking at provisions about how we can assist that particular cohort who often have very particular needs. On prison places, of course, there is always market volatility. As this government knows, we're trying to build 1.5 million houses. We've got a commitment to investing in infrastructure, and that can also always be complex and it can be too difficult at times, and we're trying to change that. Part of having this annual statement is to make sure that any government is held to account for the prison places they've committed. We've committed to building and delivering 14,000 by 2030, and I'm confident that we will do that. On probation officers, you're right to raise, forgive me, Madam Deputy Speaker, she's right to raise the issue of retention. We are having regular conversations with relevant trade unions and, of course, meeting with probation officers on a regular basis is a very important part of my job and all Justice Ministers' jobs as well. That work is ongoing, and we hope to be able to update the House shortly on it. And look, on education, I understand the honourable member's point. We are undertaking a lot of work in this area on education, often working with the third sector. There's no point pretending that there is no fiscal pressure in the justice system at the moment. Our twin focus is on ensuring that we solve the prison capacity crisis, that we deal with the court backlog, but we will be making sure that we support educational provision in our prisons wherever possible.